Hello, patients and staff at Corey and Bueller Physical Therapy. My name is Vladimir, and I am a shoebox recipient from Kiev, Ukraine. I received one of these beautiful and colorful shoeboxes from Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child, when I was only 9 years old. And what a special gift this was, not only for myself, but also for the whole family. And for me, it was extra special because this was my first Christmas gift ever. But it wouldn't be possible if it weren't for the wonderful, hardworking people like you. And so today I would just like to share my story with you in hopes that it will encourage you to continue packing these beautiful boxes and making Christmas special for millions of children around the world. So I come from a family of 9 children. We grew up very poor. We didn't have much, so it got to the point to where we had to take turns to go outside to play because we didn't have enough shoes for everybody. It's not the only thing we had to share. We also had to share toothbrushes growing up. We didn't have access to a lot of toys, especially new toys, but it didn't stop us from being creative. We would go outside, we'd find Coca-Cola caps, would flip them, drill a little hole through the middle, find a little match and string, and we would make yo-yos out of Coca-Cola caps. We also played with our shoes, pretended there were cars. Some days there were airplanes, boats. We pretty much used our imagination. And another thing we did, which was pretty cool, we would find pieces of paper, and on one piece of paper we would draw roads, and another piece of paper we would draw cars that were proportional to the roads that we drew. So we would cut those cars out and we'd drive on top of those roads. It was like Google Map bird's eye view. And as for food, we pretty much grew up on the rice and potatoes, which I often jokingly say that we were vegetarians and we didn't even know it. And we grew up in a tiny 3-bedroom apartment with barely any heating and cooling. We didn't have a washer and a dryer, so my mom, she had to do all the laundry by hand. And because of the amount of laundry that my mom had to do, her skin would often crack and bleed. And then mom, she would stay up all night and she would make socks and underwear for us out of old clothes or donated material. So we grew up very poor on the inside, and it was in the middle of all that when we were invited to come to a Christmas celebration. And this was in the middle of cold Ukrainian winter. We had to hop on the bus and then on the tram just to get to this place. And we were lightly dressed because we couldn't afford winter clothes. My socks were all soaked because of the snow we had to walk in. But it didn't matter because we were so excited to finally get to this place. And when we finally walked into this place, it's like we transitioned from this black and white Ukrainian winter to a colorful room of joy and laughter. There was so much happy music, beautiful welcoming smiles. They gave us juices and snacks that I've never had before. It was like a big birthday party for everyone. And even if they stopped at that, it would have been enough. But then at the very end, they brought out these beautiful and colorful shoe boxes. And when I opened my shoe box, it's like everything that I imagined playing with growing up. It's like it manifested in real life. I had my own yo-yo. I didn't have to make yo-yos out of Coca-Cola caps anymore. I had my own toothbrush. I didn't have to share a toothbrush with anybody anymore. I had my own Hot Wheel cars. I didn't have to play with my shoes pretending they were cars. I had school supplies that I've never had before. I had this bar of soap that was so white, so squeaky clean, so slick. It was so smooth, had a print of the dove. It was just, my whole box smelled like it. It smelled really good. Also had this dental floss that I thought was candy, but most importantly, I felt loved. You know, in my culture, when somebody gives you a gift, they always expect something in return. But here's a gift that was given to me with no strings attached, unconditionally. And that's what you get to be a part of. And I'm just so honored and blessed to serve alongside of you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done and for everything that you're about to do.